Hello, how are you doing? Welcome back to some more F1 2021 and another part of our Immersive Driver Career Mode with Mercedes. Today we have the Belgian Grand Prix at Spa, which, you know, we've had very high success at in the past. Certainly last season we finished second here. The season before we finished second, but season 2 in the Ferrari team, that wasn't the quickest car on the circuit. We absolutely dominated the Grand Prix and got our first victory right there. Back in season 1 with Alpine, we did finish in 8th position. So, you know, we did very well there. So, yeah, looking forward to seeing how we get on going forward and how we get on today. But first of all, let's see how we get on in qualifying. But looking at the championship standings, we are 3 points behind Lewis Hamilton, who has, of course, had a very consistent season, has never not been on the podium, and that DNF in Austria certainly costing us so far. 4 victories to Lewis Hamilton's 2. We have had the better of him generally when we get it to the checkered flag, but massive qualifying session coming up. Let's hope that we manage to get pole position. Here we come up to the line for our first flying lap of the quali session, and it's a 1:40.1, which does put us quickest for now ahead of Esteban Ocon. Schumacher there in 3rd. Lewis Hamilton goes quickest with a 1:39.5, so 6/10 quicker than us in Q1. It wasn't the best lap from us, I must admit, so I think there's certainly more time to be had, and we'll hopefully explore that in Q2. Okay, here we come up to the line in Q2 on medium tyres, and it is a 1:40.8, which is a second off the pace of Max Verstappen, but will that be enough to get through to Q3? Ocon goes quickest with a 1:39.8 now, so both Red Bulls ahead of both Mercedes cars, but yeah, it's going to be interesting to see whether we can get through on that time. We're already down to 7th, so it is looking a little bit ropey whether we can get through, especially because Charles Leclerc needs to go and set a time. So I think we are going to have to go out there and at the very least be on a lap on these soft tyres. Mediums just aren't the way to go. You know, they're a second slower around here, so we'll see. Well, I don't think we can be beaten here because everybody's coming into the pit lane, so we are not going to complete the lap because we should be through in 7th position, so we can be very happy with that. I am going to make sure by getting rolled back into the garage, but yeah, that was intense. We were about a second up on that time on those soft tyres, which would put us on a 1:31.8, so matching Ocon and Verstappen. So it is going to be a pretty close run for pole position here. I think we'll do our first run on these soft tyres that we put a heat cycle through. But there you are, comfortably through in 7th place, so we will be starting on the mediums tomorrow. We'll see how that goes for us. Okay, here we come up to the line, little slide out of the final corner, but it's still enough for pole position on the scrub tyres, a 1:39.4. But Max Verstappen goes even quicker, 1:39.2 there.
There's only one lap of fuel
That is
remaining.
a ridiculously good lap. Now, what about Hamilton? He's coming into the 3rd sector now. Schumacher goes 5th for McLaren. Leclerc 4th at the moment. Ocon in third. Hamilton coming through Blanchimont now, up towards the bus stop chicane. Let's keep an eye on Hamilton as he comes through the final corner. Is he going to manage to go quicker? No, he's not, is he? No, he's in. So Hamilton must have put a very slow lap in. Not entirely sure what's gone on there. So we don't know Hamilton's true pace. Let's have a little look. Yeah, down in 8th place on a 140.5. He's got a purple middle sector. But Sector 1 and Sector 2, Max Verstappen seems to have down to a T. Lewis Hamilton very, very slow in that first sector, so he must have made a mistake. So you can probably take a good second off that, and that puts him on a 39.5, which would be 3rd place. So, yeah, this is going to be very, very interesting. And where we are going to finish, we're going to keep that set of tyres for the race. We're going to bolt on that set of soft tyres, and hopefully we can go and get pole position. But this is going to be tricky. Well, coming up to the line, is it going to be enough? It is. It is going to be enough for pole position. Really well done. That was a fantastic drive. Very poor middle sector compared to Verstappen, but we managed to pull it out in the final sector.
We're all ready
and we
for
managed to
race,
take pole position. Hamilton couldn't improve, so he starts only 8th.
The captain, Verstappen, and Esteban Ocon. With qualifying complete, all that remains is the main event. We'll be live and uninterrupted for the Grand Prix tomorrow, so make sure you join us then.
Well, there you go then. Pole position for the Belgian Grand Prix. Just half a tenth ahead of Max Verstappen in second. Ocon only, half a second off that. And then the next best is Charles Leclerc, 1.1 seconds off there. So it is a Mercedes and Red Bull absolute paradise, really, in terms of our lap times. But it's all down to race day tomorrow, and can Lewis Hamilton get back into it?
We're in Belgium once again for today's round of the Formula One World Championship. It's a race the great Ayrton Senna won 6 times, and in 2019, Charles Leclerc became the first driver to take their maiden win here since Michael Schumacher in 1992. So here we are once again, ready to go racing through the Ardennes Forest. 4.35 miles of long straights, fast corners, and massive elevation changes. It makes this not only one of the most exciting circuits on the calendar, but one that makes for some consistently high-quality racing as well. Simply put it, there really is no place quite like Spa. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. The captain lines up on pole position, edging out Max Verstappen, who'll start from P2. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Ocon, Leclerc, Mick Schumacher, and Fernando Alonso. Giovinazzi, Hamilton, Norris, and Pierre Gasly. Perez, Russell, Yuki Tsunoda, and Latifi. Vettel, Stroll, and Guan Yu Zhou, and Callum Ilott, Lundgaard, and Nikita Mazepin. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
Now that we've got some points on the board, let's continue this form and aim for another top 10 finish.
Okay, so Jeff seems to think get off the medium tyres fairly early on and get onto the soft tyres, middle of the race. Let's trust him on that.
Right, let's get the car up to temperature on this lap. We're learning the gears, so go through them all if you can.
Yeah, we are going to have to make sure we are on form. We need a good launch. We need to get into the first corner in the lead. And then we're going to lead everybody up. Eau Rouge through Radion.
Conditions look stable at the moment. No rain currently expected.
It's going to be really important that we have these tyres up to temperature, which they're not currently. But it is a long formation lap, so absolutely no excuses for not getting them up to temperature. It is a very important race to get those brakes up to temperature as well, because you've got that long straight where we're going to be going side by side with Max and Esteban. It could even be 3 wide. So we just need to make sure that we're ready for that. We'd love Lewis Hamilton to get into the fight, but it's not looking likely from 8th place. He's going to struggle to get through the field. You'd imagine probably by the end of the race he will finish 4th, but to get into this top 3, he's going to have a really good start. But what I do know is that our tyres are in the best condition they possibly could be. Now, the main thing is we've got to keep it clean. We've got a big opportunity to take the lead in the World Championship this race. Now that Lewis is down in 8th, we could even take a big lead into Monza, which is another track that we've had some really good success at in the past, and well, those tyres are as hot as they'll ever be. I don't think we can have warmer tyres, but here we come on to the pit straight, and we're lining up in pole position. We line up first. Max Verstappen is 2nd, Ocon 3rd, with Leclerc in 4th, Schumacher 5th. I think we have Gasly in 6th. Is it Perez in 7th, and then Hamilton 8th? Not so sure, but here we are, straight away, ready for the lights. The lights out, away we go here at Belgium. It's a great start for Max Verstappen and Esteban Ocon. We're going to go down the inside of Ocon here. So we managed to maintain 2nd position. Can we catch up to Max Verstappen though? He's already a 2nd ahead. We need to be in that slipstream as we go up Eau Rouge for the first time in this Grand Prix, as Esteban Ocon and Giovinazzi up in 4th place. What a start for the Italian, and he could well be in 3rd come the end of this lap, but Max Verstappen, what a start for him in front of a lot of his supporters. Giovinazzi up to 3rd and battling with Esteban Ocon, and that's got to help us a little bit. Well, Verstappen is absolutely checking out here. We've got to try and keep with him, but he is just gaining time after time here. Question is, are we going to be able to respond to this later on in the Grand Prix on the soft tyres? Wasn't a bad getaway from us, but Verstappen absolutely nailed it, as did Ocon, and we had to take it very, very narrow into that first corner. And that's what cost us a little bit. But we finished the first lap in 2nd position. Verstappen 2.2 seconds ahead of us. Giovinazzi in 3rd is a 2nd behind us. We need to make sure that we stay out of that 1 second window to Giovinazzi behind, because we don't want to be getting involved in that fight. But again, absolutely nailing Eau Rouge and Radion. And this is where we can really make the impact on Verstappen. We have got a lot more straight line speed. Go quickest through that first sector out of anyone. Now we've just got to get into our rhythm, because I think we can really find some pace on these tyres, and as Verstappen's tyres are going to start to wear on him, that's where our chance comes. Well, join me on lap 4 of this Grand Prix, and we are building a massive gap to Giovinazzi behind. You would imagine Ocon will get past him sooner rather than later, but we're struggling to make any sort of impact on Verstappen ahead. It's the middle sector where we're really losing out at the moment, because Verstappen has been mighty through there all weekend, and we're on the slightly harder compound of tyre, so he's got more grip at this point, particularly through Pouon. And you can see, I mean, we were 1.7 seconds behind at the start of the sector, and now 2.2 seconds. We are trying our best to nail these corners as best we can on the medium tyres, and actually gained a little bit of time there. So 2 seconds flat now. Third sector, we've really got a big advantage because of that straight line speed, and you can see how much we are closing in by 1.8 seconds. And if we can get it down to less than a second, then we can start thinking about pulling an overtake off, but that's a poor final corner. But we're coming in at the end of this lap.
Put up the fastest lap of the race so far.
So it's all going to be about that soft tyre
Push hard on the in-lap
run. Well, Verstappen is in as well. So really, really interesting. He's in. We're in on the same lap. Of course, opposite tyres going on. Ocon now assumes the lead of the Grand Prix. This is going to be really interesting now. I was hoping for
up to speed now.
A little bit
Let's
of
get
an
some heat
undercut
into those tyres.
on Verstappen, and now Stroll getting in the middle of us. That's going to make things interesting. A little bit of corner cutting there, but we'll be fine. Need to get past Stroll. We do manage that just about. A little bit wide, but we're okay. So now, big laps coming up. We'll go down the inside of Nicholas Latifi there, and using his slipstream.
Lewis is in the pits.
That has got us to within 1.6 seconds of Max Verstappen. This is the closest we've been since lap 1. So now this is the battle for the lead. 5 laps to go. And we are closing in massively. Look at this. Look at this. We're just starting to pick up a bit of a slipstream now. And look at us now. We are right in his slipstream. Got to be careful now not to allow Verstappen the DRS too soon, but that is the fastest lap of the race, a 140.7. Now we've got to be careful. We've got to make sure we give ourselves the DRS. Hamilton up to 5th place as we suspected. Giovinazzi, unfortunately, seems to have dropped down a little bit. But now this has got to be our chance. DRS wide open. And look at how quickly we're closing in on Max Verstappen here. But he does go defensive. We know not to throw it down the inside of Max Verstappen. And sucked into his slipstream again as we go through Blanchimont. But I don't think we're going to give it a go into the bus stop.
There's 3 laps of fuel remaining.
Unless it was the final lap of the race. Nicholas Latifi out. Hopefully not a safety car. Or virtual. Doesn't look like it right now. So Got to stay close to Max here. This looks good. This looks good. This is an excellent run. DRS wide open. Gotta have the chance this time. Oh, but I thought Verstappen was going to go to the inside somehow. That was still a purple first sector, but yeah, bottled it there. I thought he was going to get out of the way, but didn't. He had to take avoiding action, so it's definitely intense, this. 2 laps to go.
Caution.
2 more chances. We've just lost a little bit of time through here, and there's Nicholas Latifi on the side of the road. So obviously no overtaking through here, but should go green straight away.
Okay, clear.
Second behind now. So might have thrown away our best chance here. Might have to take a lap to get back into that position and do it on the final lap.
Keep managing your tyres. Manage your tyres. We have 2 laps of fuel remaining. You're increasing the gap on the car behind by 0.5 per lap.
Well, we have got DRS, but as suspected, we're not going to get close enough on this lap to overtake Max. Certainly not anytime soon, so just got to stay close now and give ourselves one more chance. On the final lap of the race. But it has been an intense battle. You know, one where we've had to beat 100% every single lap because Verstappen just is not making any mistakes. And through the middle sector in particular, he is mighty. Absolutely mighty. First and third sector, we seem to have the better of him. So we're going to keep the overtake button pressed as we come round onto the final lap of this Belgian Grand Prix.
This is your final lap of the race.
We're going to keep our overtake button firmly pressed. We're going to get one chance at this. It's an excellent exit. DRS is open. We're closing in. This time he does go to the inside, nearly shoves us off the track. And there is a bit of contact. Well, I mean, that was inevitable, really. This time we tried to go to the inside, but yeah, just weren't given the space, I suppose. But yeah, we've just squeezed. That was the thing. When I was expecting him to do that the lap before, and I was going to try and go around the outside, but he just squeezed us all the way up to the grass. We get a bit of grass on our tyres, and as we brake, just didn't have the grip, and straight into the side of Verstappen. Understeered into him, and that's certainly the end of any chance of winning it. For us. And the problem is, we've got barely any grip. Is Ocon going to manage to come round and take second off us? I think he is. Oh, what a shame. There he is. Going to try and block him off as best we can, but he flies around the outside.
Okay, we lost the position. Try to keep focus.
Leclerc and Hamilton right there. But yeah, just... Oh, it's a... Well, that's... Oh, Leclerc out. We are dropping down the order here.
The bodywork's taken a few scrapes. Try not to make it any worse. There's been an incident on track, but officials aren't.
And I don't even think we're going to get
right now. Just be careful.
Top 10 here. Max Verstappen wins, and it was the last lap. Lunge that cost us. Can we get it round the final corner to get ourselves 7 points in this Grand Prix? Hamilton is somehow going to extend his championship lead. We managed to get up to the line in 7th place, but that is what you call a disaster.
What a great race then, and what a magnificent victory here at the Belgium Grand Prix. So Anthony, what made the difference out there today?
Well, time management probably played quite a large role in the outcome of this one. As ever, it's not just about speed, it's all about maintaining that speed consistently over a stint, over a race distance. So being able to keep up the lap times while still being smooth on the controls and gentle on the tyres, that's really where the race was won today.
Red Bull put up an outstanding fight for the front position today, and it's great to see it paid off for them. They do so much for the sport that you can't help but be delighted by today's race win. It's a great result for Lewis Hamilton, who moves further ahead at the top of the table. Some amazing talent out on the track today, but Anthony, who would you pick as your driver of the day?
Well, there was a lot of incredible driving out there today, Crofty, but if I had to pick someone, it's got to be Sergio Perez. Fantastic driving.
It's time to check out the constructors' standings. It was a tough race for our championship leaders who lose ground at the top of the table. There was also a strong showing from the McLaren team today as they make their way up the standings. I'm equal parts exhausted and elated with this weekend of Formula One. Be sure to join us for the next one.
Well, I mean, you've got to say that is a big disappointment to make that incident, make that collision with Max right at the end there. Let's just have another look at it, why not? Lap 11. See, we close right in. Couldn't have been much better through the first corner, really. Staying nice and close. Stay frosty. We go through Eau Rouge, up Radion. And that is the perfect angle. We got right in his slipstream. Then he started to squeeze us over towards the grass. And unfortunately, we make the collision. And that is what has cost us a podium, a victory, perhaps. You know, maybe we would have lunged it down into the bus stop chicane, but it doesn't look like it there. But we had huge damage on that front wing, and we just couldn't keep it on the track. And there's Ocon there. He managed to fly past us. I still don't really know how he managed it round the outside here. We tried to block him off, but he just flew around the outside. Leclerc and Hamilton. Well, what happened to Charles Leclerc? Of course, he went into the back of us. Let's just see. Oh, well. Yeah. Was that... I mean, it was fully our fault. We go a little bit wide, came back onto the track, and Leclerc just flat out goes into the back of us, and that's the end of that one. Schumacher managed to just make it past. Wow, he actually did make a little bit of contact on the way through. Look at this. Wow, that could have been the end of both of our races. And Giovinazzi comes through. Easily makes it past. As does Perez, and then Gasly. He's smelling blood now. He can see our wounded car just ahead. Let's see how close he actually gets in the end. Manages to get the perfect final corner, and well, if he was a little bit braver, he could have went for that, I think. But there you go, we come across the line in 7th place, and that has ramifications on the championship. We are now 11 points behind Lewis Hamilton. You know, we could have took the championship lead today and opened up a good gap, but we don't, and that's the way it is. Damage limitation. We finish 7th. We get the fastest lap. 7 points in the bag. It's still in our hands. You know, if we win the rest of the Grand Prix this year, then we will manage to win the title. But yeah, last lap drama there. And if you've enjoyed it, give it a big thumbs up down below. Subscribe for plenty more F1 content. And I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.